Welcome to the Quiz Master. This is Quiz 358, Let Coaching number 6, New Curriculum, English Major. This is our live review class. I am your English Major coach, Professor Paul Hiranio. The Quiz Master posts free review materials. However, if you want to support our channel, consider sending us super thanks, which you can purchase on YouTube. To all English majors, join our exclusive Facebook group for English majors. It contains lots of interactive quizzes, drills, and review questions. Message us on Facebook for inquiries. The link is provided in the caption.
Paul Hiranio, a professor of English at the University of San Agustin. I finished my bachelor's degree in secondary education, major in English at West Visayas State University. Finished my master in education degree, major in English as a second language at the University of the Philippines. And currently I am pursuing my Juris Doctor degree at the College of Law of the University of San Agustin. I have been teaching English for almost 19 years now, and I have been a lecturer for almost 10 years now. Okay, let's start. Now let's go to question number 6. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Remember, incorrect. A, listening is the first language skill that we learn. B, speaking is the delivery of language through the mouth. Letter C, reading is a fundamental skill for learning. And letter D, when you write, you receive something rather than you produce something. Again, which of the following statements is incorrect? A, listening is the first language skill that we learn. Letter B, speaking is the delivery of language through the mouth. Letter C, reading is a fundamental skill for learning. And letter D, when you write, you receive something rather than you produce something. Okay, the correct answer is letter D. When you write, this is incorrect, not correct. When you write, you receive something rather than you produce something. Why this one is incorrect? Because when you write, you produce something rather than you receive something. It's the other way around, right? When you write, you don't receive something, you produce something. That's why writing is a productive skill. It is not a receptive skill. When you write, you give something, you produce something. That's why we have this term productive skills and receptive skills. Writing is a productive skill because it requires some form of language output. Writing is the activity or skill of marking coherent words on paper and composing text. The activity of composing text for publication. So we have the 4 macro skills. We all know that. That's very basic. We have reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And these 4 macro skills are subdivided into 2. Receptive skills and productive skills. Receptive skills are reading and listening because, you receive. When you read, you receive something. When you listen, you also receive something. It's receptive. And productive skills are speaking and writing. When you speak, you produce something. When you write, you produce a language output as well, right? So receptive skills versus productive skills. Receptive skills are the ways in which people extract meaning from the language discourse they see or hear. So that's reading and listening. Productive skills are the ways in which we establish a language discourse that can be received by someone else, that's speaking and writing. In order for true communication to take place, at least one receptive and one productive skill needs to be used. Now let's go to question number 7. The language used by poets, novelists, and other writers to create images in the mind of the reader is called A. Slang, B. Jargon, C. Imagery, D. Parlance. Again, the language used by poets, novelists, and other writers to create images in the mind of the reader is called A. Slang, B. Jargon, C. Imagery, D. Parlance. Okay, the correct answer is imagery. The language used by poets, novelists, and other writers to create images in the mind of the reader. It's imagery. Imagery means to use figurative language to represent objects, actions, and ideas in such a way that it appeals to our physical senses, the sense of touch, the sense of smell, the sense of hearing, so on and so forth, right? So imagery refers to the mental pictures that readers experience when reading literature. Imagery appeals directly to one or more of the 5 senses. An author achieves imagery through the use of words. Imagery is very, very important in poetry, especially in poetry. So imagery, what is it? Words create pictures in your mind. How does it work? Through symbols, metaphors, and similes, detailed descriptions, and personification, among others. Now let's go to question number 8. It refers to the unconscious knowledge of grammar that allows a speaker to use and understand a language. A. Linguistic competence. B. Social linguistic competence. C. Discourse competence. And letter D. Strategic competence. Again, it refers to the unconscious knowledge of grammar that allows a speaker to use and understand a language. A. Linguistic competence. B. Social linguistic competence. C. Discourse competence. And letter D. Strategic competence. Okay, the correct answer is linguistic competence. The unconscious knowledge of grammar that allows a speaker to use and understand a language. That is linguistic competence. Simply put, linguistic competence refers to the knowledge of grammar and vocabulary. If you're good at grammar and words, then you have linguistic competence. So, linguistic competence is part of a bigger idea called communicative competence by Del Hines. Communicative competence is made up of 4 competence areas: linguistic competence, social linguistic competence, discourse competence, and strategic competence. If you are competent in these 4 competence areas, if you are competent linguistically, if you have social linguistic competence, so on and so forth, then you have good ability in the language. Because language is not just about grammar, not just about words. It has also something to do with how you manage when there is a communication problem, right? That is strategic competence, how you blend words, how you weave words, and how you interact with people, how you use the correct expression when you face different kinds of people, right? So if you all have these, then you have what they say communicative competence. Linguistic competence is knowing how to use the grammar, syntax, and vocabulary of a language. Linguistic competence asks, what words do I use? How do I put them into phrases and sentences? Now let's go to question number 9. Which of the following descriptions best describes the concept of reading comprehension? A, decoding previously unknown words. B, making meaning from text. C, as asking questions after reading. D, reading aloud quickly and accurately. Again, which of the following descriptions best describes the concept of reading comprehension? A, decoding previously unknown words. B, making meaning from text. C, asking questions after reading. And letter D, reading aloud quickly and accurately. Okay, the correct answer is making meaning from text. Reading comprehension, making meaning from text. Reading comprehension is the ability to process text, understand its meaning, and to integrate with what the reader already knows. We call it the schema of, or the prior knowledge of the reader. What is reading comprehension? The simplest definition of reading comprehension is to understand what you read. Those who have studied reading prefer a definition that emphasizes that good readers work at understanding. They are active and intentional, constructing meaning by using the message in the text and their own prior knowledge. So reading is not reading if there is no meaning involved. If you just verbalize, words without understanding, that is not reading. That is just parroting, right? Reading comprehension requires interacting with text in various ways. Number 10, The Bells is a heavily blank poem by Edgar Allan Poe, which was not published until after his death in 1849. A, alliterative. B, onomatopoeic. C, metaphorical. D, paradoxical. Again, The Bells is a heavily blank poem by Edgar Allan Poe, which was not published until after his death in 1849. A, alliterative. B, onomatopoeic. C, metaphorical. D, paradoxical. The correct answer is letter B, onomatopoeic. Onomatopoeic words, or onomatopoeia, right? Onomatopoeia is defined as a word which imitates the natural sounds of a thing, like buzz, hiss, clang, splash, etc. So Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Bells, contains a lot of onomatopoeia. Let's talk about Edgar Allan Poe first. Did you know both of Edgar Allan Poe's birth parents died before his 4th birthday? Poe's short stories examine horror and evil, both as a palpable external force and a malevolent cancer in the human heart. His recurring master detective, Auguste Dupin, is seen as a direct antecedent of Conan Doyle's more famous creation, Sherlock Holmes. Although he lived a short and tragic life, Edgar Allan Poe remains today one of the most beloved mystery writers in history. His contributions to literature and the mystery genre cannot be underestimated. So that's Edgar Allan Poe. So let's talk about the bells. The form is four stanzas at various lengths. The stanzas increase in length. The rhythm, it's the bell rhythm, right? Sound devices, that's why it's onomatopoeia is here, right? Sound devices, internal rhyme, line length, and punctuation support this. Theme progression of human existence, especially in the areas of love and death. Here is a part of the bells. They are neither man nor woman. They are neither brute nor human. They are ghosts. And their king it is who tolls, and he rolls, 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 rolls. A paean from the bells, and his merry bosom swells with the paean of the bells, and he dances and he yells, keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the paean of the bells, keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the throbbing of the bells, 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 bells.